Real estate law, revenge. The furnace groaned like it was trying to confess something. Dust clung to my throat as I pulled away the rusted metal panel. Behind it, a small gray safe stared back, half buried in cobwebs. The numbers on the dial were familiar. My birthday. I didn't hesitate. My fingers moved with mechanical certainty, as if they'd always known this lock. The door clicked, heavy and deliberate, opening on a darkness thicker than the basement air. Inside, an envelope, yellowed, brittle at the edges. My father's handwriting on the front. "If you're reading this, they finally found you." I froze. The paper smelled like iron and mold. My pulse dragged in my ears. I hadn't heard my father's voice in 15 years, not since the cancer took him. And yet, reading those words, it was as though he stood in the room, whispering from the shadows. Found me? By who? My wife's laughter still echoed in my skull. Courtroom fluorescent lights burning into my retinas. Her painted lips curling as she leaned close to whisper, "You'll never see the kids again." $2.2 million. The house, the custody, the final nail. And now this, a safe I never knew existed, a letter that knew I would need it. I read the first line again, slower this time, tasting the weight of every word. "If you're reading this, they finally found you." My father knew something, and maybe, just maybe, that knowledge would ruin her before she finished ruining me. The day she left, I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I sat perfectly still in the lawyer's office as she grinned at her attorney like a child flaunting stolen candy. The judge signed. Her hand rested on the stack of papers like a queen claiming land after war. My house, my children, my life. I was permitted nothing but the wreckage. She leaned toward me, perfume suffocating, and whispered, "You'll never see the kids again. You're nothing now." That laughter was worse than the decree. I walked out with silence pinned to my chest like armor. Drove cross-country in a car that stank of stale fries and old coffee. Returned to Ohio, to my father's empty house. The basement became my coffin, until the safe. The letter continued, the paper shaking in my hands. Real estate is a blood game. Never forget that. Property hides secrets deeper than dirt. If they've taken everything from you, it means they want the deed. Deed. California. I thought of her lawyer, slick hair, rehearsed smile. I thought of her hand tightening around the deed like it was more than a house, more than walls. And for the first time since the gavel fell, my rage wasn't fire, it was ice. I started digging. Not in the dirt, in records. Property transfers, title histories, tax liens. Every thread of legal fabric that had ever wrapped around my father's business. The letter spoke in riddles, but one thing was clear. The house in California wasn't just a house, it was leverage. Night after night, I traced documents. Quietly, methodically. My ex-wife believed I was drowning. She didn't know I was swimming beneath the surface, silent, sharp, waiting. Phone records led me to her lawyer's office. He wasn't just a family attorney. He was the CEO of a boutique law firm, a real estate predator that bought distressed properties through divorces and bankruptcies. They thrived on ruined families. My ruined family. The pieces clicked. She wasn't laughing because she won custody. She was laughing because she had handed my father's legacy to the wolves. The deed wasn't hers, not legally. My father's signature, hidden in layered trusts, clawed back through generations. But they didn't know, she didn't know, I did. I requested certified copies of old filings, birth records, death certificates. Quietly. I spoke to no one. My face remained stone when I called to ask about archival access. And when the final document landed on my desk, I knew the truth. The house she stole was never hers to keep. I didn't call her. I didn't storm her new mansion. I mailed her a single envelope. Inside, a copy of the trust. My father's trust. Her name nowhere in sight. When the phone rang, I let it. When the second call came, I ignored it too. The third, I answered. Her voice cracked, hysteria edging the words. "What is this? Where did you get this?" Silence. I wanted her to hear the weight of nothing. "Tell me you didn't file this." Click. I hung up. My chest was steady. My hands didn't shake. For the first time in months, my reflection in the basement window looked alive. Court came again, but this time, the stage was mine. Her lawyer's confidence fractured as I slid the trust across the table. Not a word, just paper. Paper sharper than knives. The judge read, adjusted glasses, looked at me, then at her. Silence. Her painted lips parted, but no sound came. Her lawyer's face drained to chalk. The ruling was swift. The house wasn't hers. It had never been. Fraud dripped from every page she had signed. I didn't celebrate. I didn't smile. I just watched her crumble, piece by piece, as the gavel struck. Not in her favor this time. No custody modification. No dramatic speeches. Just loss. Cold and clean. The way she had once delivered it to me. Back in my father's basement, the letter sat folded beside me. Dust still clung to the corners, but its work was done. He had known. Even from the grave he had warned me. And I had listened. My children were still far away. Their laughter belonged to another house, another city. I didn't chase it. Some things rot too deep to recover. But the deed, the legacy, was mine again. She thought she buried me in court. She thought she stole my name, my blood, my future. All she did was wake a ghost that had been waiting in the walls, and I let it devour her. I leaned back against the cold concrete, closed my eyes, and exhaled. Not victory, not peace, just silence. The kind you only hear after the storm has stripped everything bare. She took my children, but I took her soul, and that was enough.